I just didn't like it. Oh my god, the chapters are so freaking long in this, like so long. The romance needs to be 600 pages. Hello everybody and welcome back or welcome to another video. Now we've got a very exciting reading vlog for you today. If you couldn't tell by the title of the video, we're doing part 2 of BookTubers Choose My Reads for a week, and we've got a very exciting lineup this week and some very exciting books which my girlies pulled through for. Now if you didn't watch part 1, I'll leave it in the description so you can go watch part 1. We found some amazing reads in part 1. In part 2 I've got some high hopes. Now I love doing videos like this because it helps me like branch out on my horizons, and it also gets some of my bookish besties incorporated in these videos as well. So now if you didn't know how I work these, I'm gonna reveal, which you probably see by the thumbnail, but I'm gonna reveal each booktuber as we go along. So our first booktuber is Tash, or as she's known on social media, a Capricorn Reads. I love Tash reading vlogs. I like seen her mainly on BookTok when I first came onto BookTok, and then she branched out to YouTube, and I just love her reading vlogs. I feel like they're really relaxing, and for some reason her voice just like soothes me, and she's just so great. I love her reading vlogs. So I was like, I have to ask Tash. I feel like we've got very similar reading tastes, so I was like, I feel like she's gonna pull through. Yeah. So when I asked her, she sent me a list of books, and I was like, you could tell we have similar reading days because the first 2 books she sent me I'd already read. I'd given her 5 stars. So the next one down in the list was The Favourites by Lane Fargo, and I've seen this everywhere. Like I've seen everyone speak about it, so I'm very excited to get into this. I haven't got the physical copy to hand, so I am going to buy it on my Kindle, but I'm so excited. I've seen people compare it to very much like Daisy Jones and the Six and The Seven Husbands of Evelyn Hugo. People say like it's a mix between the both, and it's got that script like text in it, so I feel like it's going to be really easy to sort of like digest it. So I'm excited for that. So thank you Tash for recommending this book because I'm so excited to get into this. So without further ado, let's just get into the reading vlog. Oh my god, what the hell? I'm like in the switch between like her POV and then the like narrator's sort of like interview POV. I feel like it's really easy to read, but I am also a bit confused as to like what the situation is between Heath and her, which is Kat. I'm a bit confused. Like, are they together or are they just partners? But they've shared a kiss. I don't know. And the timeline isn't really making sense in my brain. I feel like we're jumping around quite a lot. besties. So it's been a bit of a while since I've actually spoken to this vlog. I have devoured The Favourites and I finished it in 2 and a bit days. I obviously started it, you would have seen me start it, and you would have seen me read a bit more the next day when I was downstairs, and then I had a night shift that night and I read it like early hours that night when I was on my night shift, so I haven't really like had a chance to do like a midway update or anything because I've just been so busy. But we can do a little finishing update. I've written some bits down because I've got some thoughts. These are some of the things that I've written down for this book, okay? The Favourites by Lane Fargo. This could have easily been a 5-star, I think, but the ending and just everything at the end infuriated me so much. I don't know, I just couldn't get on board with the ending of this book. Like, let me tell you a bit about it first. Okay, we know I'm not very good at saying my thoughts here on this channel, but it's kind of like, I've seen people say, I think I said at the start, it's a cross, people have said it's a cross between like Daisy Jones and the Six and The Seven Husbands of Evelyn Hugo, but I would also say that it's also got a bit of like Jesse Hastings' Magnolia Parks because of like the toxicity, the relationships between people, the jealousy, and just the toxicity of it all is given very much Magnolia Parks. So if you enjoyed Magnolia Parks and the relationships and the toxic relationships of that, then you will definitely love The Favourites. So it's set up as if it's a documentary. So if you've read Daisy Jones and the Six and it's set up like interview style, that's sort of like what this book is set up like, but it's also mainly from like a narration POV from Kat, our female character's POV. It's like mainly her POV, but we also at the end of most chapters we get a bit of like interview style from other characters in this like documentary that's being made about Kat. So Kat and Heath are technically the main characters, they're the love interests of this, but it's basically all about Kat. But Kat and Heath are pair figure skaters, and this documentary is kind of how, and this book is how they go from rags to riches basically, and how they become Olympic ice skaters, and just the story of their journey basically. That's what this documentary / book is about. But during this like journey of them going from rags to riches, they get basically swept up in like the Hollywood lifestyle of things, and there's a lot of like toxic relationships, there's a lot of jealousy, there's a lot of back and forth between characters, and it's just, you can imagine it's really hard to build friendships when you're in like competition and things like that. So you can imagine it's really hard for Kat to build these friendships with other people when she's in like this training camp sort of thing, because they're all in competition with each other. They're all figure skaters, they're all in competition with each other, and they all want the same thing. They all want to win. They all want the gold medals. You can imagine how toxic it gets. But there's literally so much drama in this book, like so much drama. Like the ending of this book is crazy. Like crazy. So we got our female character, which is Kat, her partner Heath, and then we also have Bella, which is her friend, but there's like a weird thing that happens between them midway through the book, and the dynamic wasn't best at the start anyway. Like the foundations that they built their friendship on wasn't the best because they're obviously competing against each other, they both want the same thing, but like something happens midway through and I just don't think I could have forgiven them because there's 2 people involved in this incident, and I just don't think I could have forgiven them for what they did. And from there I was just very reluctant on everything, so I think that bumped it down a bit. Plus then the end, there was this whole like mystery kind of thing that went on that was kind of left unsolved, and I thought it was a bit random. And then we also had again this aftermath of Bella, and I'm gonna say like Bella and Heath and Kat. There's like this really weird dynamic between them, and I just didn't like it. I just didn't like it. I didn't like how it ended. I feel like it could have ended so much better. There was just this unexpected thing that happened and I was not here for it, but I did still really love the story, so I rated it a 4-star. It was still an amazing book. I still felt like every emotion while reading this book. I felt anger, I felt love, I felt anger and love, basically those are the 2 main emotions that I felt during this book. Yeah, it was an amazing read and I'm so glad I read it because I don't think I would have read it, so thank you Tash for choosing this book because I've seen everyone read it and I don't think I would have personally read it if I didn't get told to read it. So thank you again Tash for choosing that book. Absolutely loved it, except for the end. But it's time to speak about our next booktuber that chose our read. Oh, Cece, can you get out? And our next booktuber is JolieReads. She's JolieReads on BookTube, BookTok and Bookstagram. I absolutely love Jolie. I love all of her videos. She's got some like amazing recommendations and her book collection is amazing. I absolutely love her book collection and I always binge her BookTube videos. They're always so aesthetic and calm and peaceful, and she's just a vibe over on BookTok. I love her over on BookTok. So I felt like I feel like she reads such a diverse like range of books, like going from genre and stuff. So I was like, she's gonna have some bangers that I'm gonna read. It could have been anything because I feel like she reads thrillers, she reads romance, she reads dystopian, fantasy, mystery. This like she reads so much. Like so many different genres, so she could have given me anything. So I asked her to give me any sort of book she can think of, any whatsoever, free range. She was like, oh my god, of course. Okay, so I feel like I've seen you talk about Magnolia Parks before. Check, I have read that. Otherwise that would be my number one choice, but I just finished Cruel Prince trilogy and I'm simply obsessed with that, so that would be my next recommendation. I have read The Cruel Prince and I DNF the series, so that's not the best. Or Next of Kin by Hannah Bonham Young. They're all so good. So of course I went with Next of Kin by Hannah Bonham Young. I do already own this, which was great. I didn't have to go out and actually buy a book. I already own it. And I have already started this morning when I was in work. I had work this morning and I needed something to read. I'd finished the favourites, so I needed to go in with my next book, and that is Next of Kin. Now, the premise of this, it follows Chloe, our female character, and the love interest of, what's his name? Warren. Now they're both trying to get custody of their siblings. Chloe's mother's just given birth to a newborn baby and she's trying to get custody of her baby sister, and then Warren's got like a 15 or 16-year-old brother that he's trying to get custody of. Now they're both like in a bit of a pickle because Chloe's really struggling financially and she might not be able to get custody because her financial situation isn't the best, and then Warren on the other hand, his financial situation is good but his living situation isn't the best. So there's this thing that social services have said, it's called a team up program, which I think is made up. Surely this cannot be real because it sounds insane, and if I was suggested this, like surely it can't be real. I don't think it's real in the UK. Like I don't know what it's like in America, but I guarantee you it's not real in the UK because that's insane. But there's this thing called team up where two people trying to get custody of someone can team up and they can like boost each other's situations, if that makes sense. So because Warren is in a good financial situation, it will help Chloe, and then because Chloe has a 3-bedroom apartment all to herself, that will help Warren. So they come together, Warren moves in with her, and then when they have their re-evaluation, it looks like they're helping each other out, so it looks like they're in a better situation. But like, you just lie into social services, so surely that's not going to work out. But that's like the situation they're in at the minute. And I don't like Warren at the minute. He's a bit of an ass. Like, that's all I'm up to at the minute. I'm on... What am I up to? I'm up to chapter 16, 111. Oh my god, I read 111 pages this morning. I feel like I flew through those 111 pages. He's a bit of an ass at the minute. I'm not a big fan of him. I feel like they're both in this situation and he's not being very... not supportive. Like, he's not expected to be supportive. They are strangers. But I'm just not getting the vibe from him, you know? So I'm hoping we get a bit more, because I feel like he's just giving off like grumpy and she's the sunshine at the minute, but he's giving off too grumpy where I'm just like, you're being an ass. Like, there's grumpy but then there's you're being an asshole, and he's bordering on asshole. So I'm not getting a great vibe from him at the minute, but it is giving a very similar situation to Out on a Limb. Obviously they're both by the same author, so they are going to give similar situations, but I feel like obviously with Out on a Limb, they're two strangers who've had a one-night stand. They then move in with each other because she gets pregnant and her living situation is the best, so they're trying to work out how to live together. So I feel like this is kind of similar in the sense of they move in with each other, they've got these like kids that they're trying to get custody of, and I feel like it's kind of similar. It's just you have kids in one and pregnancy in the other, so it's kind of giving the same vibe, and I did really enjoy Out on a Limb, so I have got very high hopes for Next of Kin, but I just can't see it going well. In my head I'm like, surely this can't be real. Like, someone, if you're from America, let me know. Are these even set in America or are they set in Canada? I have no idea, but someone needs to let me know if that situation, like the team up situation, is actually real, because I think it's insane. But I've got some stuff I need to do. I haven't long come home from work. I want to try and finish this, but I don't think I'm going to finish it because I have got some editing I need to do as well, because I'm on page 101, and how many pages is this? 303 pages without the epilogue. How big's the epilogue. That's huge. So I've got roughly just under 200 pages. Is my math right? I think so. I'm not good at math at all. So if I can get another 100 pages done tonight, this evening, then we'll only have like 100 pages left tomorrow, and I can read that before work, and then we can start with the third and final book of this vlog. But yeah, stop rambling, Brie, and actually go with the things you need to do. I've got about 50 pages left of this, so let's read it together before work. I have finished Mexican by Hannah Bonham Young, and it was a good book. I didn't really enjoy it. I liked it, it was enjoyable, but there was like some aspects that I didn't like and some aspects that I did like, so I've rated it a 4.5, no, a 3.5. Some things that I really liked, so we'll start off with the positive. Some things I really liked was like the whole, Hannah Bonham Young just does a thing where she can really like pull emotions out of you, and she's really good at creating these characters with so much depth, and they have these issues, and she writes it in a way that you're there with them and you can really see like their healing journey and how they're healing and how they're overcoming these barriers and things. And I really enjoyed that. I really enjoyed like the blended family aspect. I really enjoyed seeing them like work together to overcome them barriers, and I feel like towards the end they had really good communication between each other, and I feel like the female main character especially was really good at communicating her feelings towards the end, because in the start she wasn't good at all at communicating her feelings. So I liked at the end she felt like comfortable within her family to be able to do that, which I loved. And not just in her family, but like in her friendships, in her just life in general, she was able to like communicate her feelings and put herself first, and I thought that was growth on her half. But the only thing that sort of like has knocked it down, like this was, I don't think this could have been a 5-star for me, but I feel like if it could have been like a 4 something if the romance was developed a bit more. Like I feel like it was very insta-lovey, but if you look at the timeline of this book, it's not insta-love, like, but it's because we skip over so many months. Otherwise this book would be like 500 plus pages if we were like along for each journey, like for each moment of their journey. But because we skipped over like so much, it felt insta-lovey, because it would be like they were arguing when like they first meet, but then it's like 3 months down the line and they're like, oh, I really like you, and then like it's 2 months later and they're saying I love you. But like in this it's just like within like a few chapters, and it did feel very insta-lovey and I didn't really like it. I think it was them saying like I love you too soon. Like they hadn't really, like, yes, they've been living together, and yes, they've been, I guess you can kind of say like co-parenting together, and they've built this relationship. They've never slept together, they've never been on a first date, they've never like hung out outside of like their environment in the apartment, and I just think like saying I love you to someone that quick is a bit, ick me out a bit. It didn't like ick me out, but it just sort of like, I don't know, I wasn't really feeling it, but I did really like it. It was still enjoyable, and I do recommend any book by Hannah Bonham Young, and I think think it's because I just read Out on a Limb as well. Like I haven't long read Out on a Limb and it did feel very similar, so I think maybe that's why. Like if I hadn't read it so close to Out on a Limb, maybe I would have enjoyed it a bit more, maybe, but who knows. But still really enjoyable read, and thank you Jolie for choosing this, because one, it's a Hannah Boney Young book, so I'm going to enjoy it, and two, it's a book off my physical TBR, so no complaints over here. But it's time to introduce our new booktuber, because I need a book to read on the treadmill when I'm in the gym. Our next booktuber is Rafferty, the one and only book talker, booktuber, author, and she's amazing. Like Mads' soul is so sweet. She's honestly the sweetest girl ever. I love watching her reading vlogs over here on YouTube. I first discovered her over on TikTok when she was like promoting her new book, which is Broken Fate. Love that, a 5-star read for me. And she's just announced the 3rd book in that series, which is coming out in May, and I cannot wait. I think it's May 6th and I can't wait for it to come out, honestly. But her reading vlogs are so just like wholesome. She has like great book racks as well. I highly recommend you go check out her YouTube channel. She's the sweetest girl ever. She's also an Aussie YouTuber for you Aussie girlies, but yeah, I highly recommend you go check her out, and also go check out Broken Fate because it's a 10 out of 10 read. But the book that she's chosen for me to read is All Roads Lead Here by Mariana Zapata. I literally have a confession, but I've never read a Mariana Zapata book before. Like, as someone who loves slow burns, I have not read Mariana Zapata book before, and apparently she is the queen of slow burns. Like, she does the slowest of slow burns apparently, but I don't know why I've just never felt inclined to pick up one of her books, because they're quite big. They are quite a chunky one, so I don't own All Roads Lead Here, but I have got it on my Kindle, and when I downloaded it last night, I read the first chapter last night. Tell me why the first chapter was 28 pages long. 28 pages long. It was so long, so long. But I've literally only read the first chapter. I read it just before I went to bed last night and I couldn't keep my eyes open anymore. But it's alright so far. I'm getting a good vibe from it. She's hinting at like our female main character Aurora, I think that's her name. She's hinting at like something has happened to her mum. I think her mum's passed away, but then there was also like a hint that she's missing. I don't know the backstory. Like, I'm only 1 chapter in, but Aurora's sort of like left her life behind wherever she lived before, and she's gone back to this small town. Can't remember what the small town's called, but she's gone back to this small town. She's gonna do like all the hikes that her mum really enjoyed, and that's kind of it really. Like, I think that's where she grew up, with this small town that she's gone back to. I think that's where she grew up anyway, but that's all I'm up to really at the minute. And we've already met Mr. Rhodes, which I'm guessing is gonna be the love interest. He's like the grumpy neighbour that's renting out his like garage apartment to her, but there was like a whole debacle with that, which I'm not going to get into because it's not really part of the plot. But yeah, I'm enjoying it so far. Like I said, I'm only 28 pages in, and I'm gonna do a bit of reading today when I go into the gym and see what the vibe is. It's a long book. It's about 600 pages ish, which is quite long for a romance book, and we have only got today and tomorrow to finish this reading vlog. So fingers crossed that I can get the majority of this done today, so then tomorrow I can do the rest because I've got another reading vlog I need to start after I finish this, so we need to get this done ASAP. Oh my god, the chapters are so freaking long in this, like so long. I'm almost 100 pages into this and I'm only on chapter 5 and nothing has happened. Guys, I just don't think I can read anymore. I think I'm gonna have to DNF this book. I've tried. I'm almost 100 pages in and nothing has happened, and I'm only on chapter 5. Like, I know Mariana Zapata is the slow burn queen, but the plot is also not progressing and it's really slow. Like, why is it 600 pages? No romance needs to be 600 pages. None. So I've come to the decision that I'm DNFing. All roads lead here. I'm so sorry, Mads. I really am. This was like shorter. I think I would love it, but like I feel like it's so long. Well, it's like 600 pages and I just can't get through them 600 pages. Like there's nothing happening at the start of this that's like making me want to read it. Like I just feel like it's kind of like slumping me a little bit because I'm just like not bored, but like nothing's happening that I want to keep on reading it, and I'm not really like there's nothing happening that I'm invested in. Do you know what I mean? Does that make more sense? So it is going to be a DNF, which I don't think, oh no, I have DNF'd a book recently actually. I was going to say I haven't DNF'd a book as of recently, but I DNF'd The Deadly Education. But yes, I'm so sorry, Mads. I really didn't want to give this a go, but I've got up to chapter 6. I've read 107 pages and I'm only on chapter 6. That's insane. So I've given it a good go. And I've given it my best, but unfortunately it's going to be a DNF. But I feel really bad because like I hate when people recommend me books and then like I don't like it or I've like DNF'd it, so I feel really bad. So I'm sorry, Mads, but you write the best books, so don't feel bad because your 2 books that I've read, 5 stars. I cannot wait for the 3rd book to come out, so that's exciting. So I guess we've come to the end of this video and I feel like we've had a good run. I feel like it's been enjoyable, and there's definitely going to be a part 3, so keep an eye out for that. I feel like we're not short on BookTubers over here on BookTubes, so there'll definitely be a part 2. I love doing these kinds of videos, just getting other people involved. I have got another video where you guys are going to be involved, where I read your guys' 5 stars and you guys need to recommend me videos. So make sure you're subscribed, make sure you head over to my Instagram because that's where all the action happens. If you want to be involved in videos and things, make sure you follow me on Instagram. Everything's like, all my links and everything's down below in the description always, so make sure you head over there and follow me because I always post like interactive stories over there for you to be involved in, like upcoming videos and things like that. So yeah, I am gonna love and leave you now. I hope you guys enjoyed. Let me know in the comments if you've read any of these books because I love chatting to you in the comments, and I will see you guys in the next video. Bye.